Sevgili izleyiciler, değerli konuklar, Sharing Economy, Paylaşım Ekonomisi 2021 etkinliğine, online buluşmasına hoş geldiniz. Katıldığınız, bizimle birlikte olduğunuz için hepinize çok teşekkür ediyorum. Bugün Move by Garanti ile ulaşım sektörünün yarını konuşacağız. Aslında toplamda paylaşım ekonomisini konuşacağız ama Move'un olduğu alan olduğu için biraz daha fazla ulaşım sektörüne bakacağız. Bugün yurt dışından da önemli konuklarımız var. Az sonra Move Garanti ve ikincinin CEO'su Emre Yıldız Bey'i davet edeceğim. Onunla açılış yapacağız. Bu etkinliği birlikte düzenlediğimiz şirketin CEO'su Emre Yıldız Bey aramıza katılacak. Ardından WeWork'ün eski direktörlerinden Johannes French var. Share Economy UK, United Kingdom yani Britanya Paylaşım Ekonomisi Derneği Yönetim Kurulu üyesi Eleanor Tucker var. Ardından paylaşım ekonomisinin yarını oturumu yapacağız. Orada sevgili Emre Yıldız'la birlikte Profesör Arun Sundararajan olacak. Dünyada ilk defa Sharing Economy adıyla bir kitap yapan, bu konudaki ilk akla gelen isimlerden birisi. New York Üniversitesi'nden Profesör Arun Sundararajan. Kendisine de soralım soyadını doğru telaffuz ediyor muyuz? Bu arada yabancı konuşmacılarımız için ekranda, platformda göreceksiniz. Anında çeviri olanağımız mevcut. Sorularınız olursa vakit kaybetmeden platform üzerinden paylaşırsanız biz de konuklarımıza iletme şansımız olur. Şimdi Emre Bey'i davet edelim. Arkadaşlar alsınlar. Emre Bey bir açılış konuşması yapacak benimle birlikte. Sonra diğer konuşmacılarımıza devam edeceğiz. Evet. Evet, Emre Bey'i bekliyoruz. Bu arada yeni bağlananlar için söyleyeyim, paylaşmak istiyorum tekrar. Bugün paylaşım ekonomisini hep birlikte konuşacağız. Yurt dışından, WeWork'ten, İngiltere'den, Londra'dan, New York'tan konuklarımız var. Derken Emre Yıldız, Garanta ve ikinci Yeni.com CEO'su. Hoş geldin sevgili Emre. Bugün Garanta by Move'la birlikte organize ediyoruz. Sözü sana vereyim. Birlikte açılış yapalım. Daha sonra diğer konuşmacılarımıza devam edeceğiz. Umarım hep beraber güzel bir öğlen sonrası geçireceğiz. Sevgili Emre, söz sende.
Yavuk Bey selam. Sanırım onun üstünde panele ya da konferansa katıldım. Sizin organize ettiğiniz. Bir kısmını beraber organize ettik, sponsoruyduk. Bir kısmına katılımcıydık. Tamamında istisnasız çok iyi katılımcılarla her ayrıldığımda bir şey öğrendim. Varsa da bildiğimiz bir şey paylaşmaya çalıştım. Bugün katılımcılara da bakıyorum, hepsi birbirinden değerli. Alanında çok deneyimli insanlar var. Biz de Türkiye'de paylaşımla ilgili neler oluyor? Sahada bunu yapan bir şirket olarak neler görüyoruz ve ne yaşıyoruz? Bunları paylaşıyor olacağız. Neden paylaşım ekonomisini seçtik? Onun da temel nedeni sürdürülebilirliği konuştuğumuz, çevreyi konuştuğumuz bir yerde paylaşım ekonomisinin farkındalığını ve belirliliğini daha fazla insanla paylaşmak ve bu bilinirliği arttırmak istiyoruz. O yüzden de böyle bir organizasyonu gerçekleştiriyoruz. Tekrar bu organizasyon için teşekkür ediyorum ve panelist arkadaşlara bırakıyorum sözü.
Çok teşekkürler sevgili Emre Yıldız. Kapanıştaki oturumda birlikte olacağız. Tekrar görüşmek üzere. Katkıların ve katılımın için çok teşekkürler. Şimdi WeWork'ün eski direktörlerinden Johanna French'i davet ediyorum. Johanna şimdi danışmanlık yapıyor ama daha evvel WeWork'te, New York'ta WeWork'ün en parlak dönemlerinde liderlik yapmış isimlerden birisi. Onun deneyimlerini dinleyeceğiz ve sorularınız varsa soruları da paylaşacağım kendisiyle. Joanna'yı alabiliyor muyuz sevgili arkadaşlar? Tamam. Joanna'dan sonra İngiltere'den bir konuğumuz olacak. O da İngiltere Paylaşım Ekonomisi, United Kingdom, Sharing Economy, United Kingdom Yönetim Kurulu üyesi. Hi Joanna.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us, and we are discussing sharing economy. You had experience in WeWork. Now you work as a independent consultant.
I do. I currently work as an independent business consultant.
Can you first talk about your experience in WeWork time and sharing economy?
Absolutely.
Office space.
Certainly. So, unlike the other presenters here, my tale is more of a cautionary tale about the sharing economy. Yeah. There is quite a lot of exploitation of workers in the sharing economy. So that's something that when you get a group of minds together, like you're going to have today, that's something that you definitely want to address and make sure that it's something that you're not doing. So you may or may not have Googled me. It's fine if you did not. So I worked at WeWork from 2015 to 2016. There is a real lack of sustainability in the business model if it is not regulated. A lot of sharing economy businesses are always on the verge of being profitable, right? Like next year will be profitable. The next year will be profitable, and part of it is because the sharing, one of the benefits of the sharing economy to the global economy at large is that it costs significantly less for someone to purchase something. But that means on the other side, somehow businesses have to ensure that they can run, that they have revenue, that they can eventually turn a profit. And what that often means is that paying their workers an exceptionally low price, which means quite a few things. High turnover. It means that that they run the risk of running afoul of local labor laws, which WeWork did. So the sharing economy itself, I think, as a business model, if done properly, we're tweaking it, right? It's a fairly new business model to some degree. When we talk about global economy, it's very non-traditional. It's not they are brick and mortars, but the real point of sale of the sharing economy usually is a piece of tech that puts me, consumer, interested in buying a piece of X, Y, or Z in touch with seller. So where I think WeWork had issues is that they also leased the spaces. They weren't simply a middleman. If you look at something like Airbnb, they are genuinely a piece of tech in the middle between consumer and seller. If you look at Seamless, if you look at DoorDash, if you look at Instacart, piece of tech in between the buyer and the seller. And that has its own issues, but it's less of a problem than something like WeWork, which became a behemoth and required billions of dollars to operate, but also burned through billions of dollars. So my experience at WeWork is fairly interesting. I was part of their first acquisition, and at the company that I was at before, Case, I was the director of operations and of HR. And when WeWork purchased us, they gave us all, a place in the company, a place to be. But as soon as I got there, it seemed to me to be quite obvious that things were not as they appeared, right? To use the old Wizard of Oz analogy, there was something behind the emerald curtain. and what was behind the emerald curtain was probably not going to be very good. I constantly brought up issues to the C-suite, because I reported in directly to the C-suite, about issues such as, you may or may not have heard about a young woman named Tara Zoomer who sued WeWork. She sued WeWork because in the United States, there's two kinds of employees, what we call exempt and non-exempt. And what that means is, even if you have a salary, if you are a non-exempt employee, that means you still can get overtime on top of your salary, because you are not a skilled laborer. Even if you're a secretary, you're not a skilled laborer. And more importantly, you do not have autonomy, right? You are not in charge of the space. You do not make decisions about hiring or firing. In most companies, that person is referred to as some kind of office coordinator or office assistant. WeWork named all their community managers, and then thought, well, since we've got the word manager on there, we can call them non-exempt employees and pay them a salary, but also have them work more than 40 hours a week and not compensate them. And in places like San Francisco, which is where Tara was living, she needed 2 jobs to pay her rent, because WeWork was not paying her really what they additionally owed her. There will probably be at some point something that works its way through the courts. Tara settled her particular case, but it's a gross violation of United States labor law, and WeWork will find themselves owing millions and millions of dollars to people who really are not. It's not fair to say that they're not skilled, but according to U.S. law, they're not skilled and they're not managers. So that occurs again because there's not a lot of oversight in these new businesses, because it's a new business model and people aren't quite sure what to do with it. And then also again, because they're selling a product at a fraction of a cost. That's the whole point of the sharing economy, right? Like, I don't need a whole office. I just need a space to be. In places like New York, that can get very, very expensive quickly if you are not at a certain continuous threshold of occupancy. So they have to find ways to cut costs the other direction. The reason why I have been asked here to speak today is because I was a whistleblower at WeWork. I contacted the C-suite, I contacted HR, and when no one would listen to me, and what I also was mortified about was that people were also just not paying attention. By the way, I'm not the only person who noticed these things. I worked very closely with an HR consultant who was coming in to revamp our entire HR system. And she too noticed the misclassification of employees. And she too noticed the low salaries and all sorts of other issues that were endemic to WeWork. So I finally went to Bloomberg, which was a local paper. And I went to them with solid evidence in the form of various documents that I had access to, that WeWork was significantly less profitable than they were telling investors and than they were telling their employees. So this is in 2016. There was a big kerfluffle. You may or may not recall, in 2016, WeWork had to adjust all of their numbers back. In some cases, as much as scale back. In some areas, as much as 80% of their profitability numbers. That's not a little number. It's one thing to be off by, right, like 5, 6, 7 percentage points when you're projecting. It's another thing to be off by 80 in terms of profit and 60 in terms of revenue, right? Like that's a pretty large number. And so I brought it to Bloomberg, and then I was sued. And then the FBI came knocking on my door. It was a very exciting year. It was less exciting and more highly stressful. But I did so because I believe in WeWork. I actually do. I think it's a fantastic, interesting idea. I think when you're talking about global expanding too quickly, that becomes a problem. When you're talking about not taking care of your employees, that becomes a problem. And I don't see that because I'm, because I worked in HR. There's so much information, so many studies have been done on the cost of hiring and firing employees. And if you don't hire well, and you have to continually fire people, it's a loss. People don't think of it as an overhead loss. They think, oh, we'll fire them quickly because that will get it over with quicker. Well, what about the man hours in paying somebody to research the person, to interview the people, that they're committing to doing this and not their own work, to onboarding them and to training them, and then you fire them before they have a chance to actually even contribute in a material way. That is just money down the drain. So in the sharing economy, which tends to hire and fire quickly because they're trying to figure things out, and startups also do this, I'm here to tell you, stop. You have to be very smart about how you hire, because you are losing money every time you don't keep somebody for about a year. And I didn't come up with those numbers. That's global research. So all of these newer companies that are coming through, again, Seamless, Instacart, I think they actually are quite valuable, especially currently in COVID right now. I live in New York City, so I'm pretty well locked down, right? So I need things delivered. But it should not come at the cost of the human beings who work there. And so one of the women who will be speaking later actually speaks on the Sharing Economy UK, and she's part of a more regulatory body. And that's part of what we need to do. Governments always tend to be a little bit behind the times, but we also need to, amongst ourselves, amongst CEOs and COOs, form our own checks and balances of our companies to ensure that they can make it through a time like right now, right? Like COVID, when you're talking about how to pivot your business or how to boost your business model. But you also need to look at your bottom line and genuinely understand that churning through employees costs you deeply. And so one of the things I hope you take away from the other presentations that you'll hear is that the sharing economy is not going away, and it shouldn't, but we need to be much more cognizant of how we approach the model itself and the people who work for us and with us.
Thank you, Joanna. I have two short questions.
Sure.
From audience. Do you believe we work back to old good days?
Well, that's an interesting question. So I don't think WeWork should be back to their old good days. I had a very good friend who ran events for WeWork, and in case you're wondering how much it costs to put 10,000 employees in a park in London in tents, that's upwards of $30 million. And I guarantee you every single one of those employees probably wanted a Christmas bonus instead of a week of booze and music in a park in London. So when we say good old business days, I'm assuming we're talking about, them, their spaces and how they work. I think they can. They have to shut down. They never did. Here's another thing to know about WeWork, and this is really important for you guys. They never did market research. So I spent some time in Berlin, and they were opening up buildings in Berlin, and I noticed they were opening them in neighborhoods that were either highly residential, but like wealthy residential. These aren't people who need co-working spaces, or in areas of Berlin that were not. They didn't have a lot of amenities around, right? So there weren't a lot of restaurants. It was mostly museums, And I asked why. I said, have you looked at, Neukölln, or have you looked at, Friedrichstein or, Prenzlauer Berg, any of these other ones. And they said, no, we just went with the buildings that were owned by people with whom we had relationships. Well, that's fantastic. That means you can get a rent break for your first year. But how do you fill them?
Final question. There are some company in Turkey. The co-work space industry. Do you believe there will be a good future for that kind of company in Turkey or another country?
Globally, absolutely globally. Here's the thing. Companies are beginning to realize, especially with the pandemic, that they don't need office spaces. They can cut that cost out of their line item. If they can do that, then they can either have a small allowance for employees who are maybe at the director level but who don't need to be in an office to have their own spaces. So I absolutely do think that there is room for it. 100%.
Thank you, Joanna, for your
Thank
time,
you.
for joining us. Good to see you. Good to listen you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye.
Joanna'ya teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi sırada İngiltere Paylaşım Ekonomisi Derneği'nden konuşmacımız var. Konuşmacımızın moderatörlüğünü sevgili Mehtap yapacak. Fast Company Dergisi Yazı İşleri Müdürü Mehtap geldi.
Merhabalar.
Mehtap hoş geldin. Eleanor Tucker'ı da davet edelim. Sonra ben size veda edeceğim. Eleanor'ı da alabiliyor muyuz? Evet. Hi Eleanor. Okey, ben çıkıyorum. Sende söz Mehtap.
Teşekkürler Bey. So we are welcoming Eleanor Tucker, the board member of Sharing Economy UK. Welcome, dear Eleanor.
Hi, Mehtap. Lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being with us today. The information you will provide means a lot for sure. So sharing economy has become an extremely popular topic in recent years, especially, with the advent of platform business models. So could you tell us about the Sharing Economy UK in a few sentences to give our audience a brief idea? What do you and your members do in this organization?
So we are a trade body and an organization that was founded in 2015, which is interesting because that's half a decade ago. And this was really at the beginning of the sharing economy. In 2017, SE UK, as we call it, partnered with the CBI, which is the Confederation of British Industry, which is the big business membership organization in the UK. So that has really helped the organization to come forward. We promote and support sharing economy businesses, and we also lobby the government, work with policymakers, and try to make sure that regulations and legislation support platform companies and innovation in this sector. So we've got about 34 members, I think, and I recently joined the board, although I've been a member for a couple of years. And we've got some big name members you have probably heard of, like Airbnb, maybe. Yeah. For example, TaskRabbit and Turo, which are, big global platforms for sharing. We've also got smaller UK startups. So we've got some really interesting, really new startups coming through, things like fashion rental. We've got a really interesting company that is in the recruitment space, and that's about sort of sharing and referring people in recruitment. These types of really innovative young startups coming through as well as some of the big ones. So it's a great organization and we're growing. So it's great to be part of it.
Okay, thank you. So, Eleanor, how big is the sharing economy in UK? Could you give some information about the size of the sharing economy community and the businesses?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one to quantify in that way, because I think what's happening these days quite often is startups are setting up, they're launching, and they don't necessarily know if they're a sharing economy business or not. They might set up an app, maybe sharing fashion or handbags or something, and they see it more as, you know, an app or a lending or rental app, and it's not like they have to sort of register on a site and say we're a sharing economy company. So there is that fact that there will be lots of innovative business models with a sharing ethos around them coming through, but we might not necessarily know about that. Having said that, I think it's interesting to see what the big players like PwC are saying about the sharing economy, and particularly in the UK. So to give you a sense of that, in 2016, PwC predicted that this sector could be worth 140 billion by 2025. So that was 5 years ago, and they're predicting something in 5 years' time. So we're kind of halfway there. That's a big amount of money. So I think it shows, you know, that things are definitely moving in that peer-to-peer model direction, that platform model. So although it's difficult to actually sort of put a figure on that, I think that maybe that gives you an idea of how much money is going to be in this this business model by 2025, which isn't far away, because obviously we're nearly in 2021.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So we are going through very tough times, you know, and what kind of a role did sharing economy companies play in the COVID era? How did they perform?
Well, what a year it's been, and so interesting, I think, as well as obviously, you know, very difficult, but very interesting to look at the sharing economy and see what parts of it have thrived and which ones haven't. So to kind of set the scene, I suppose, quickly on that question, what we've seen during, you know, in the UK particularly, but I think in other countries too, what we've seen during the crisis is a huge uptake in people using technology. You know, they've had to, because they've not been able to get out and do things face to face. We've seen an increased interest in sustainability as well, because, you know, lots of people have maybe stopped using their cars, and people have seen quite quickly that emissions, you know, and air pollution has dropped. So I think people are more interested in making positive changes as a result of the pandemic. And I think there's been more of an interest in community as well. People have been helping people who live locally, who've maybe been isolated, you know, that type of thing. People have been connecting on apps and platforms. So all these things have helped the sharing economy. But we've got to remember that the sharing economy isn't a sector, it's a business model. So there are lots of different sectors that have been affected in different ways. And obviously the travel sector has been, you know, really harshly affected. And also any type of gig or sharing platform where you have to meet up face to face has been affected by lockdown and self-isolation. So things like maybe, you know, an app that connects people for beauty treatments or for face-to-face tutoring or something. All these types of businesses have really suffered. And then, of course, we've seen the businesses that have thrived in this period. Delivery. I mean, you know, everyone is getting stuff delivered. You know, can't go out for meals anymore. We're maybe getting our food delivered. And, you know, community sharing apps, again, sort of connecting with people locally. These types have really thrived. And the ones that haven't thrived have often pivoted and changed to an online version of what they were doing before. And I think that's really interesting, because I think in the sharing economy, there's lots of startups who are, you know, they're smart, they're innovative, they're agile. They've been able to move fast and adapt maybe in a way that a big corporate business couldn't. So really interesting times over the last year. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in 2021.
Thank you. So here's my last question. In which areas do you think the sharing economy will grow when new companies will emerge in the UK and Europe in the coming days? And in which areas do you see potential for investment for initiatives?
So I've seen some really interesting things come through this year. Obviously, it's been a year of change. I think people are seeking experiences. So I think that this sort of experience economy side of the sharing economy is going to come through. We've seen people looking to platform models to do things with their friends, to have maybe online events You know, I've seen all sorts, wine tasting, online entertainment, these types of things. That's a very interesting part of it. And I think people are valuing that time, that social time more, just because it's been taken away from them. So I think I'm going to see quite a lot of growth in that space. Mobility is very interesting. People have maybe been working from home, don't see the need to own a car. Maybe we're going to see an interest in shared mobility because people aren't using their car for the daily commute quite as much. I think that's going to happen. And I've also seen the fashion subsector that's really coming through. People, you know, maybe not wanting to buy clothes, maybe income is down because of maybe losing the job or becoming furloughed because of the recession and the pandemic. So people wanting to rent their clothing rather than buy, that's really coming through. And skill sharing as well, trading what you can do for what someone else can do. Again, these often are signs of recession, but you know, in a way, they're positive as well, because it means that people are adapting and looking for ways that they can increase their income or get stuff done without actually even, you know, having money change hands.
Okay, thank you. So you are gonna add something?
Yeah, sorry, I've just realised I've not answered your question about sort of areas where we might see potential, you know, investment initiative. If I've got time to answer that.
Yeah, in a few sentences. In a couple of sentences.
Well, I've just seen some really interesting trends taking place with big companies in the UK, like John Lewis, our big department store chain, has partnered with Fat Llama, which is a peer-to-peer rental platform, so that they can rent out the furniture that they have in store. And Selfridges, the fashion company, the fashion store, has partnered with Her, which is a peer-to-peer fashion app, so that people can rent out the high fashions and not buy them. So I think we're going to see a lot of that coming through, and that's going to be an area for investment. So that's an interesting one to watch. And just a final thing, companies that support the sharing economy, I think that's going to be an area where we're going to see a lot of interest and investment. Fraud, ID verification, insurance, these types of company, that everything's starting to move towards supporting the platform economy because people have seen it working during 2020. So exciting times.
Yeah, exciting times. Thank you so much. There is a lot to talk, you know, but unfortunately there is no time left. So you shared very, very valuable insights with us. Thank you so much, and hope to meet again as soon as possible in real life, you know.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Thank you, Meta.
Thank you. And Mr. Rauf Ateş, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Evet, tekrar yayına döndük sevgili izleyiciler. Önceki konuşmacılarımıza teşekkür ederim. Şimdi bir oturumumuz var, 2 konuğum var. Paylaşım ekonomisinin yarını konuşacağız. Profesör Arun, yayından gitti mi? Buradayım, sorry. Sundarajan, New York Üniversitesi'nden Şehrin Ekonomi kitabının yazarı. Emre Ayyıldız, Garante ve İkinci Yeni.com'un CEO'su. Tekrar hoş geldiniz. Arun, welcome and thank you very much for your joining us. We have been meet long time, and I have tried to invite to Turkey at the end. At the least we can do it online. Thank you again. Sorularımız olacak. Sizin de sorularınız olursa sevgili izleyiciler. Ben önce Arun'la başlamak istiyorum. I'm going to start with you, Arun. You have a book and you have lots of article about sharing economy. Can we start a definition of sharing economy? What's your definition of the sharing economy? Can you make a short definition for us?
Of course. I mean, first off, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm delighted to be joining you and your participants. As we were discussing, we have been exchanging ideas for many years, and it's very nice to finally participate in your event.
Thank you.
The sharing economy, I think of as a way of organizing economic activity that is different from what we used to do in the 20th century, and in many ways closer to what we used to do in the 18th and 19th century, in that we are taking some of the activities that used to be within the large company and distributing them to a crowd that is connected to the consumers through a platform. And often the crowd will use some personal resource or some shared resource to provide the service. So, for example, with short-term accommodation or finding a room to stay when you are traveling, in the 20th century, the dominant model became the hotel model, where you are building hotels, large companies or businesses own these hotels and accommodate people. The sharing economy model allows individuals who have a spare room or who have some apartment to start to provide this as a business, connecting with a global customer base through the platform Airbnb. So Airbnb is not doing everything that the hotel used to do. They are delegating some of that to the crowd of short-term accommodation providers who are then running small businesses through the platform. And we see other examples like this in transportation, in food production, in retail, entertainment. And so I believe that this will be the business model for the 21st century.
Thank you, Arun. Sevgili Emre Ayıldız, Arun'un tarif ettiği endüstride bir iş yapıyorsunuz, diğer işlerinizin yanı sıra. Siz neden MOV'u kurdunuz? Paylaşım ekonomisi içinde bir şirket. Sizin çıkış noktanız neydi?
Ya tam da Rauf Bey sizin söylediğiniz gibi biz eski ve köklü bir şirketin parçasıyız. 60 yıllık bir geçmişimiz var. Otomotivin birçok alanında bugüne kadar faaliyet gösterdik. İşte baktığımızda kiralamadan distribütörlüğe, distribütörlükten ihracata birçok alanda faaliyetimiz var. Son 10 yılda hem dijital işlere hem de paylaşım modellerine çok yakından bu modelleri takip ediyoruz. Bu modellerdeki hem yatırımları hem de üretilen değeri incelemeye ve anlamaya çalışıyoruz. Takip ettiğimizde gördüğümüz rakamlar tabii ilginç. Hem yaratılan değer hem de rakamlar çok ilginç. Rakamlardan biraz bahsedersek geçmiş 5 yılda paylaşım ekonomisi, işte elektrikli araçlar, otonom araçlar gibi alanlara 450 milyar doların üstünde yatırım yapılmış. Önümüzdeki 5 yılda da araç paylaşım sektörünün büyüklüğü 400 milyar dolara ulaşması bekleniyor. Şimdi böyle bir alanda yatırım yapma motivasyonumuzun nedenleri şunlar. Şimdi paylaşım ekonomisi, Arun da biraz bahsetti, özünde birkaç tane ana değer yaratıyor. Bu değerler nedir? Bir tanesi bir kere kısıtlı kaynakların verimli kullanılması. Yani özellikle pahalı olan, yani işte Arun'un bahsettiği ev gibi, Airbnb'nin yaptığı ya da bizim yaptığımız araç gibi, yani pahalı olan araçların, asetlerin kullanılmadığı zamanlarda başka insanların kullanımına sunulması ve o asetin sahibine maliyetinin azalması ya da bir gelir paylaşımı yaratması, bu çok ciddi bir değer yaratıyor. Bu ana motivasyonlardan biri. Bu hem sürdürülebilir büyümeyi sağlıyor. Çünkü sınırsız kaynaklar yok. İstediğimiz gibi tüketemeyiz. Artık yolun sonuna gelmiş durumda. İnsan, dünya nüfusunun geldiği nokta itibariyle artık paylaşmayı öğrenmek zorundayız. Bir diğer nokta da paylaşım modelleri çevreci modeller. tüketimi de belli ölçüde sınırlandırdığı için çevreci bir model sunuyor. İşin otomotiv tarafına geçtiğimizde biz neden paylaşım modellerinde otomotivi tercih ettik? Temel unsurlardan biri bizim 60 yıllık bir otomotiv geçmişine sahip olmamız. İkinci temel unsur da bugün baktığımızda evden sonra en önemli yatırım aracı araç. Biraz rakamlara girmekte bence fayda var. 1976'ya geldiğimizde 1976 yılında 336 milyon araç var dünya genelinde. 20 yıl sonra 1996'ya geldiğimizde bu rakam 650 milyona çıkıyor. Yani yaklaşık 20 yılda bir iki katına çıkmış bir araç rakamından bahsediyoruz. Bugüne geldiğimizde 96'dan 2020'ye geldiğimizde dünya üzerinde şu anda 1.4 milyar araç var. 7.8 milyarlık nüfusu düşündüğümüzde her 5 kişiden birine araç düşüyor diye düşünebilirsiniz. Şimdi otomotiv sektörünün büyüklüğünü biliyorsunuz. 2 trilyon euronun üzerinde bir büyüklükten bahsediyoruz. Yani biz dünya insanları olarak ciddi bir yatırım yapıyoruz. Kaynaklarımızın önemli bir kısmını bu işe yatırıyoruz ve daha sonra da bu yatırdığımız aseti çok verimsiz bir şekilde kullanmaya çalışıyoruz. Şöyle düşünelim, Almanya'nın yıllık tüm GDP'sinin, yani işte bunun içinde turizm var, bunun içinde hizmet var, %14'ünü otomotiv sanayi oluşturuyor. Böyle bir kaynak ayrımından bahsediyoruz. Peki bunu ne kadar kullanıyoruz? Arun da kitabında çok güzel bahsediyor. Bugün günde 24 saate düşündüğümüzde %5'inde ancak bir aracı kullanabiliyoruz. Yani 1 saat, 1,5 saat maksimum bir kullanımdan bahsediyoruz. Araçları kullanırken de kullananların %85'i ki maalesef biz de böyle yapıyoruz, tek kişi kullanıyor. Yani büyük bir yatırım var. Bunu günde %5 kullanıyoruz. Kullandığımızda da kapasitesinin %20'sini de kullanıyoruz. Yani toplam verimliliğimiz, bir mühendis olarak da bunu iyi değerlendirmeye çalışıyorum, %1. Dünyanın en büyük sektörlerinden biri %1 verimlilikle çalışıyor. Böyle bir sektör herkesin ilgisini çekiyor. Bu alana o yüzden bizim gibi firmalar hem değer yarattığı için hem de geleceğinde ciddi bir fırsat gördüğü için bu alana yatırım yapıyor. Biz de bu nedenle yatırım yaptık.
Teşekkürler sevgili Emre. Dear Arun, I have a question for you. I read one of your interview on internet. You argue we are in a major transformation that impact not only business, not only we work, not only government and society. You argue that there is a big, huge impact. Can you draw a picture for us? What kind of impact you are going to expect?
Absolutely. I think there were a number of very good points made by Mr. Emery. I agree that there is part of the motivation for what brought the sharing economy to life was sustainability, and was we have so many assets. Let's come up with ways to utilize them in some sense. So that's certainly a good point. But I think although we started with this is why it's called the sharing economy. I think the original motivation was, lower our ecological footprint, utilize the assets more efficiently. But what it has turned into is a new business model that is beating the traditional corporate 20th century business model. And I think that is where a lot of the impact is going to be felt. And COVID and the pandemic and the lockdown have accelerated this movement. So let me expand on that a little. If you think about how the world economy is organized in the 20th century, we evolved to a place where in many countries, the individual is providing labor and talent to a company or to the government and is receiving a salary in exchange. And there is a small number of entities, companies, government, businesses that are engaged in production and selling to other consumers or selling to other businesses. And so there was sort of this division that started in the 18th, 19th century. And that is what we think of. When someone graduates from college, they don't say, I'm going to provide through a platform. They say, I'm going to find a job. And they expect I will get a salary, I will have an office, I will go to work every day, I will have a manager, a boss. I think that model is fundamentally going to change in the next 20 years, where the big institutions of the economy will not be companies, but will be platforms. Platforms like Airbnb, platforms like Uber. We already have platforms like Facebook and Google and Apple and Amazon, but they will be a layer of almost sort of part market, part trust, and they will connect to hundreds of millions of consumers, but the individual will not be drawing a salary and providing labor. The individual will be, in a sense, running a tiny business by themselves through the platform. And so our entire thinking about what is my career, what am I preparing for, has to change from I am preparing for a job with a salary to I have to manage my own career and I have to be a small business, not an individual providing labor and talent for a salary. And the reason why I said the pandemic has made this go faster is because it has shifted a lot of business online. Instead of going to restaurants, we are ordering food through the platform. Instead of going to the store, we are ordering, goods through Amazon or through an online retailer. And so the place that we may have been in 2023 or 2024, we have leapfrogged to by the end of this year, because suddenly we were forced online. And all of this accelerates the move away from the traditional model and towards the platform model. And so, so there are, there are many changes. I mean, first is from the individual's point of view, they have to come up with a different way of thinking about what is my career, how do I plan it, what do I prepare for. From a business point of view, every traditional business has to be thinking, should I create a platform or should I join one? From a government or societal point of view, we have to fundamentally change our thinking about how do we protect the citizens. For example, many countries have unemployment insurance. If you lose your job, the government gives you money. But if job is not the definition of work, then we have to come up with a different way of providing protection at times of economic stress. For many people, the company that they work for is a big part of community. It is a big part of how they understand what is my career going to be like. It is where they make their friends. We have to think about different community institutions because we will be in a world where we will be working through platforms rather than working for someone with others. And so all of these are fundamentally transformative of the economy and of society.
Thank you, Arun. Emre Bey, sizinle devam edeyim. Başta ulaşım kendi sektörünüz olmak üzere paylaşım ekonomisinin Türkiye'deki geleceğini nasıl görüyorsun? Yeni girişimler, büyüme gibi alanlarda tahminlerini alabilir miyiz?
Baktığımızda aslında paylaşım ekonomisi Türkiye veya dünya için yeni bir şey değil. Biz doğamızda zaten bir şeyleri paylaşmak var. Aslında yeni olan bu işleri dijital yöntemlerle yaparak tanımadığımız insanlarla da bazı şeyleri paylaşmaya başlamamız. İşte Arun çok güzel yine bahsetti. O güven unsurunu işte Facebook üzerinden insanların birbiriyle ilgili yaptığı yorumlardan, puanlamalardan esinlenerek arka taraftaki bu datayı da kullanarak tanımadığımız insanlarla da bir connection kurmaya ve paylaşmaya başlamak ve burada bir değer yaratmak aslında. Yaratılan fark bu. Bu toprakların da aslında kültürüne çok uzak değil paylaşım ekonomisi. İlk paylaşım örnekleri İstanbul'da 13. ve 14. yüzyılda görülüyor. Belki biraz bahsetmekte fayda var. Arun için de ilginç olabilir. İlk örnekler kayıklar. İstanbul'da bir noktadan bir noktaya kayıklar maksimum kişi sayısını doldurduğunda sabit ücretle bir noktadan bir noktaya gitmeye başlıyorlar. İlk paylaşım örnekleri bunlar. Bugünkü aslında bizim ride sharing dediğimizin benzeri örnekler bunlar. Bugünkü anlamda ride sharing örnekleri veya paylaşım örneklerini nerede görüyoruz diye incelediğimizde 1930 yılında İstanbul'da ilk başlıyor. Bu dolmuş, bugün dolmuş taşımacılığı dediğimizin örnekleri 1930 yılında başlıyor. 1930 yılı çok ilginç. Rastlantı değil bu yılda başlaması. Çünkü 1929 yılında Büyük Buhran'dan sonra İstanbul'da o dönemde 700 tane taksi var. Ve bu 700 taksi ciddi bir sıkıntı yaşamaya başlıyorlar. İlginç bir hikaye var. Bu tip disruptive yöntemlerin neden çıktığını anlatan güzel bir hikaye. Bir taksi her sabah Nişantaşı'ndan Eminönü'ne zengin bir müşterisini her gün götürüyor ve akşamları getiriyor. Bu kriz döneminde bu müşteri taksiciye geliyor ve şunu söylüyor. Ben artık taksinin parasını ödeyemiyorum, bunu afford edemiyorum, sürdüremiyorum. Sustainable bir şey değil benim için bu yöntem. Ve 3-4 tane arkadaş buldum kendime bu yönde gidip gelen. Bu arkadaşlarla birlikte senin taksini kullanacağız diyor ve taksici de bunu kabul ediyor. İlk dolmuş örneği İstanbul'da bununla başlıyor. Bu örnek bize şunu gösteriyor. Aslında zorunluluklar disruptive yöntemlerin çıkış kaynakları oluyor. Böyle bir dönemden geçiyoruz şu anda. Covid de bu dönüşümü aslında hızlandıracak ve böyle bir dönemden Türkiye'yi geçirecek. Türkiye ilginç bir ülke. Yani bazı eksiklerimiz olmasına rağmen 100 yıllık bir cumhuriyetiz biz ve demokratik geleneklerimiz var. Her ne kadar birçok eksiğimiz olmasına rağmen büyük bir ülkeyiz. Yetişmiş insan gücümüz var ama zengin bir ülke değiliz. Dünya milli geliri, ortalama milli geliri 11.000 doların üstünde. Türkiye'nin ortalama milli geliri 8.000 dolarlar civarında. Baktığımızda bizim herkesten daha fazla kaynaklarımızı verimli kullanmamıza ihtiyaç var. Yani Japonya'dan önce, Almanya'dan önce paylaşım ekonomisine bizim yatırım yapmamız lazım. Kendi halkımız için sürdürülebilir bir tüketim seviyesine, sosyal bir refaha erişmemiz için o yüzden sürdürülebilirlikten bahsediyoruz paylaşım ekonomisinden bahsederken. Çünkü aslında diyelim ki eve ulaşamayan ya da araca ulaşamayan insanlara bu yöntemlerle ihtiyacı olan ürüne ulaşma şansı sunuyorsunuz. O refah seviyesine insanları belli seviyeye çıkarıyorsunuz. Bu anlamda paylaşım ekonomileri çok önemli. Biz Türkiye'nin genç nüfusunun işte biliyorsunuz 85 milyona yakın bir nüfusumuz var. Nüfusun yarısı 30 yaşının altında. Ortalama yaşımız da 31-32 yaşında. Genç bir nüfusa sahibiz. Kaynaklarımız sınırsız değil. Bu yüzden Türkiye bu tip paylaşım modelleri için önemli bir ülke. Bu anlamda da biz geleceğin parlak olduğunu düşünüyoruz.
Teşekkürler. Bir izleyici sorusunu ileteyim Emre Bey. İstanbul'da, İzmir'de varsınız. Başka illerde move olacak mı diye bir soru var.
Müşterimize çok teşekkür ediyorum. Bana çok da güzel bir şey hatırlattı. Ben unutmuştum. Önceliğimiz İstanbul, İzmir ve Ankara'ya da açtık yaz aylarında. 3 ilde varız. Bu arada iller arasında da seyahat edebiliyor müşteriler. Yani İstanbul'dan aracını alıp Ankara'ya, Ankara'dan aracını alıp İzmir'e de bırakabiliyor. Bu büyük bir esneklik sağlıyor. Şu an için bu 3 ilde büyümeyi planlıyoruz. Ama önümüzdeki dönemde diğer illerle ilgili de fizibilite çalışmalarını yapıyor olacağız. Müşterimiz bana çok güzel bir şey hatırlattı. Bu tip çevreci uygulamaların belediyeler ve kamu otoriteleri tarafından desteklenmesi gerekiyor. Bizde de güzel örnekler var. Bahsetmekte fayda var. İzmir Belediye Başkanımız görevi devraldığında bizi davet etti İzmir'e. Biz aslında ilk kurulduğumuzda sadece İstanbul'daydık. Ben çevreci, sosyal fayda sağlayan, sürdürülebilir bir ulaşım alternatifi getirmek istiyorum İstanbul'a, İzmir'e ve bununla ilgili araştırma yaptığımda sizin olduğunuzu gördüm. İzmir'e gelir misiniz diye bizi davet ettiğinde seve seve gittik ve bugün İzmir'de 200'e yakın aracımızla İzmir'de hizmet veriyoruz. Belediyenin bize müthiş bir katkısı oldu. Bir kere işi sahiplendiler. Tüm otoparkları ücretsiz kullanıyoruz. İşin PR'ında da çok büyük destek oldular. Buradan tekrar kendilerine hakikaten teşekkür edelim ve bu tip güzel uygulamaları da mutlaka ben bu tip platformlarda paylaşmak istiyorum. İstanbul'da da İspark'la güzel bir anlaşmamız var. İstanbul'daki tüm İspark'ları mover'lar, biz onlara mover diyoruz. Kendilerini mover diye takdim ediyor müşterilerimiz de. Tüm İspark'ları ücretsiz şekilde kullanabiliyorlar. Bu tip güzel uygulamaların ben artmasını temenni ediyorum ve öyle olacağını da düşünüyorum.
Teşekkürler. Arun, I have a short question and answer from our audience. One startup asking you, which is the best category or industry to start up a new, launch a startup for sharing economy? What is your advice? Your voice.
It's a very good question. I think right now there is a lot of growth in the online food delivery space. There are already large players, but we are still only at maybe 5% of what the market will be in 5 to 10 years. And so although we have big players like Uber Eats and DoorDash, the growth trajectory is very good. And so finding opportunities that help improve the online food sharing economy business, whether it is creation of cloud kitchen infrastructure for food production, for delivery, or solving some existing problems like within neighborhoods, within different countries. That is one big opportunity. I think the sharing economy for energy sector, for electrical power or for power production and distribution is also another area where we will see dramatic growth. Over the next 10 years, the cost of batteries for storing electric power will keep falling, and the cost of solar panels will also keep falling. And because of this, people will start to create sharing economy models where the production of power within a neighborhood can be redistributed within that same neighborhood. So I can sell my power to my neighbor. Today, if I have solar panel, I feed it back into the electric grid and it's all controlled centrally. But this kind of decentralized platform-based energy sector will emerge, I think, more in, perhaps not so much in Western Europe and United States, where power systems are already very strong, but in other countries where power systems are unreliable, the electricity system is not so reliable. I see multi-billion-dollar opportunities for sharing economy businesses there. Finally, in some sectors of healthcare, I think we have not seen much activity in the giant healthcare sector from sharing economy because, the way that these industries evolve is initially the sectors that require less trust and have less regulation will be disrupted. So we saw retail happen first. And then slowly we are now seeing transportation, food, accommodation. They require higher trust, have higher regulation. So it takes longer. I think healthcare requires the highest level of trust and has the highest amount of regulation. And so it is the slowest to switch to the platform model. But if you take certain low-risk sectors of the healthcare, I think in the sharing economy space, there is still a lot of startup potential, connecting doctors with patients, connecting nurses with patients for simple, for simple sort of healthcare needs. And so these three sectors, like food delivery, energy, and healthcare, I think where there will be the biggest growth.
Thank you. Your book on share economy was one of the first book. Would you share with us main takeaways, main messages of your book? Two or three messages, takeaways.
Well, I think the first takeaway was that we should stop thinking of the sharing economy as being informal sharing and not commercial, but think of it as being a new form of capitalism. That is, people would confuse sharing economy with, a sort of a non-commercial or a, let's all hold hands and be friends and share our stuff. My first message was that this is, as important a change in the economy as the creation of the shareholder corporation was 150 years ago. This is a fundamentally new form of capitalism that will change everything. I think my second key message was that if you want to understand the future of business, watch the evolution of commercial trust systems, trust and safety systems, because every time a new trust system evolves, it can change how we organize economic activity and how we organize business. In the past, we would trade only in our villages. Then we had government trust. Then we had courts and contracts. Then we had brand trust. Each of these was a new form of trust, but it also completely changed, what is the size of the company, who trades with whom. And the sharing economy has created these new digital trust infrastructures, reputation systems, online ID, and so on. And so, that creation of this trust system is fundamentally going to change who does the work, what does it mean to have a job, what kind of safety net we have. And I guess the final message is that we should stop thinking of, then this was a message more for governments than for individuals. Many governments started out by thinking of platforms as below them something that needs to be regulated or controlled. So my message is that it is not possible to control or regulate platforms in the same way that you might control or regulate traditional business, because platforms are taking on some of the responsibilities already in society that government used to have. And so they are more like equals, and we have to negotiate with them the way one country would negotiate with the other, rather than it being a hierarchical relationship.
Thank you, Arun. Emre Bey, sizinle devam edelim. İzlediğim ve sohbetlerden de biliyorum. Move çok hızlı büyüyen bir girişime dönüştü. Gelecek 3 ya da 5 yılda nasıl bir planınız, hedefiniz var Move için?
Çok hızlı büyüdük. Belki 1-2 rakam vereyim anlaşılması açısından. 2 yıl önce kurduğumuz bir marka. 600-650 araçla başlamıştık. 2 yılda 2000'in üstünde araca ulaştık. Tabii 3 katın üstünde bir büyüme var. Kullanıcı sayımız, kayıtlı üye sayımız 600 bine ulaştı. Bu sayı Avrupa ile kıyaslayınca daha iyi anlaşılıyor markanın geldiği yer. Avrupa'da paylaşımdaki her araç başına ortalama kayıtlı üye sayısı 200 civarında. Bizde şu anda 280-290 civarında bir ortalama görüyoruz. Yani Avrupa'daki ortalamanın %40-45 üstündeyiz. 2 yılda bu. Ya bu bize Türkiye'deki genç nüfusun, özellikle bizim kullanıcı kitlemiz, tabii ki daha farklı yaştaki kullanıcılarımız da var ama ağırlıklı kitlemiz 34 yaşın altında. Yani dünyayı takip eden, ben kazandığımla gidip arsa alayım, ev alayım değil de ihtiyacım olduğu kadar kullanayım diyen Y kuşağı, Z kuşağı, yaşı ileride de olup da böyle düşünen kişileri de biz Y kuşağı ve Z kuşağı olarak da tanımlıyoruz açıkçası. Bu tip kullanıcılar bizim müşteri kitlemizin %80'ini neredeyse oluşturuyor ve bize gelecekle ilgili de ümit veriyor. Bizim gelecek dönemle ilgili beklentilerimiz şunlar: önümüzdeki 2 yıl içinde araç sayımızı 3 katına ve kullanım sayımızı da 5 katına çıkarmayı hedefliyoruz. Ve kullanıcılarımızla birlikte de büyüme temel motivasyonlarımızdan biri. Yani bu şu demek, araç paylaşım işleri normal klasik işlerden çok farklı. Yani normal bir şirkette 9 ile 6 arasında hizmet veriyorsa bir şirket, 6'da kapıyı kapattığında, çıktığında bir müşteri tekrar o şirketi arayıp bir hizmet almanın peşinde koşmuyor. O bizim işlerimiz 7/24 çalışan işler. Yani bugün bir gece yarısı siz kapınızın önündeki herhangi bir MUV aracını kullanıp başka bir yere gidip aracınızı bırakabiliyorsunuz. Buradaki teknik altyapının çok iyi olması ve sahadaki operasyonun 7/24 devam etmesi gerekiyor. Bu işte başarılı olmak için sahayı çok iyi yönetmek gerekiyor. Sahayı yönetmek için de sizin kullanıcılarınızla birlikte bir community yaratmanız gerekiyor. Yani kullanıcılarınız aynı zamanda sahadaki işi yaparken size destek olmalılar. Onların desteğini almanız gerekiyor. Bir örnek vermek çok faydalı olacak bu noktada. Çok yeni bir rakam bu. 2 hafta önce bir değişiklik yaptık. Sahada yakıtı biten araçların normalde yakıtını bizim operasyon ekibimiz dolduruyordu. Bu tabii ciddi bir operasyonel yük. Hem araçlar bu süre boyunca atıl kalıyor, hem ciddi bir bizim için maliyet. Şöyle bir uygulamaya geçtik. Yakıt belli düzeyin altına indiği zaman bu araçlar fırsat aracı olarak çıkıyor. Kullanıcılarımız bunları görüyor ve aracı kullanmaya başladıklarında, yakıt aldıklarında bir indirim alıyorlar. 2 hafta önce başladığımız bu uygulamayla şu anda yakıt alma operasyonunun yükünü %80 azalttık. Şimdi araç paylaşım modellerinde firmaların en fazla zorlandığı iş bu sahadaki operasyonel işi yapmak ve bunu yönetmek. Bunu yapabildiğimiz ölçüde başarılı olacağız. Bu bizim ana odak noktalarımızdan biri olacak. Buradan da şu an dinleyen mover'lar vardır mutlaka. Hepsine teşekkür ediyorum. Markayı bugüne getirdikleri nokta için. Bundan sonra da hep birlikte daha da iyi noktalara götüreceğimize inanıyorum.
Peki bir kısa izleyici sorusu ileteyim. Araçlarınız kendinize mi ait? Sharing, paylaşım kapsamında atıl vatandaş araçlarında kapsamayı düşünüyor musunuz?
Bu ikinci soru da benim biraz önce İzmir gibi unuttuğum bir konuydu. Teşekkür ediyorum. Sorular tam to the point geliyor. Kendi araçlarımıza başladık. Şu anda 50'ye yakın 2 farklı firmanın aracı da var. Platform olmak en büyük hayalimiz ve hedefimiz. İstanbul bu anlamda özellikle İzmir ve Ankara'da çok büyük potansiyel içeriyor. Bizim öncelikli hedefimiz kurumsal firmaların da araçlarını buraya koyabilmesi. Buna başladık 2 firmayla. Önce kurumsal firmalarla başlayacağız. Orta vadede de şahıslar da kullanmadıkları ya da atıl kapasitedeki araçlarını da bu sisteme koyabiliyor olacaklar.
Evet, teşekkürler Arun. I have a short question from audience. Do you have students who invest sharing economy as a startup? Voice.
Yes. I have had many students who have started sharing economy businesses. Yeah. I think I teach in a business school. The tuition for business school is very high. And so most students get job after they graduate and start company later. But 2 companies that are notable, there is one company started by my former students called Rally Road. And they are an investment platform that brings sharing economy idea to owning expensive items. So if you are rich, you can buy a $500,000 classic car. Rally Road will buy the car and then create a security based on it and allow people to buy fractional shares of this car or of collectible baseball card or of expensive piece of art. Another company was a sharing economy platform for, photographers and filmmakers who have very expensive equipment that they are not using, to rent out that equipment to other photographers and filmmakers. And so often you will have a filmmaker independent, and they have $100,000 worth of really expensive equipment that they are using, but not much. So how do we facilitate peer-to-peer rental of these? And both of these companies are doing quite well. Rally Road has raised almost $30 million in venture capital. Many of the students also go to work for VC firms. And over there they do investments on their own, but I do not have anyone to point to who has made a huge investment that I can sort of say, look, here is this company that is $1 billion company.
Thank you. What's your expectation for the future? Where are heading to industry? I mean, the sharing economy.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think 2020, this year, is a year of acceleration. So we have, often when a new technological possibility comes along, it can take many years for us to see the effects, because even though it is technologically possible, there are other forces, societal forces, economic forces, labor, political, that make the progress slow. And so what I see 2020 as having done is take away many of those barriers. We all had to shop online because, we were stuck at home. Unemployment went up, which means that we can reshape the economy much faster. Resistance to trying new things went down because everything seemed new, and we had to learn how to trust everything again. And so all of these put together create a fertile environment for rapid change. And so, if I look 5 years into the future, I think we will point to this year as the year where the traditional corporate model started to decline very rapidly, and the platform model started to accelerate very rapidly. And so I think the next 5-10 years will be years of great economic upheaval and rapid change that has been triggered by the situation created this year. And so my message really is that, although the pandemic situation will improve in the next year, 2 years, the technological change that has been triggered by it will continue to cause upheaval in the economy for many years to come.
Thank you. Sevgili Emre, seninle devam edelim. Bu endüstrinin, sizin bulunduğunuz sektörün önünün açılması için beklenen düzenlemeler, yenilikler var mıdır? Ve ekleyeceğin varsa atladığımız konu paylaşırsan sevinirim.
Biraz önceki aslında güzel örnek gibi İzmir Belediyesi ile yaptığımız bu girişim, işte İspark'la yaptığımız işbirlikleri gibi, bunların aslında hem içeriğinin genişlemesi, hem sadece bizim aslında araç paylaşımı için söylemiyorum. Paylaşım modellerinde olan her firma için. Bunlar bir ekosistemin parçası. Scooter da bunun bir parçası. Otobüs de bir ulaşım sisteminin bir parçası. Araç paylaşımı da bunun içinde. Ya bunların hiçbirini birbirinden ayırmıyorum. Paylaşım ekonomisindeki her şirket çok değerli. Bu alanda yapılan her yatırım da ülkenin refahı için harcanmış ve buna yapılmış bir yatırım olarak değerlendiriyoruz. Ve bu tip girişimlerin desteklenmesi gerektiğini düşünüyoruz. Ve bunun dışında teknoloji her gün aslında bu tip yatırımları destekliyor. Yani şöyle düşünün, bugün bizim için sahadaki en büyük zorluklardan biri araçlara IoT cihazlarının takılması, işte araçlar satılacağı zaman bunların sökülmesi, bu cihazların uyumu, bunlarla ilgili yazılımların, teknolojinin update edilmesi, upgrade edilmesi, bunlar aslında bizim zamanımızın ve üstümüzdeki operasyonel yükün önemli bir kısmı. Ancak araç üreticileri bir artık araçları fabrikadan çıkarırken zaten paylaşım modellerine uygun şekilde çıkarmaya başladılar ve bunu çıkarmaya devam edecekler. Araçlar artık belki de belli bir yerden sonra cihaz takılmadan firmalar birbiriyle data üstünden paylaşımda bulunarak doğrudan siz aracınızı bizim MOVE sistemine koyabiliyor olacaksınız. Biraz önceki izleyicimizin sorusu çok değerliydi. İşte o noktaya geldiğimizde paylaşım ekonomisi tam bir aslında patlama noktasını yaşayacağız. Araç sahipliğinin ileride düşeceği öngörüsü de zaten aslında bundan geliyor. Yani 2030 yılını düşündüğümüzde bugün Avrupa'da 280 milyon araç var. 2030 yılına geldiğimizde bu araç sayısının %25 düşerek 200 milyona düşmesi bekleniyor. Bu öngörülerin temelinde de bu tip paylaşım modellerinin büyüyeceği öngörüsü yatıyor. Biz geleceğin burada olduğunu düşünüyoruz. Burada üreticilerin yapması gerekenler var. Kamu otoritesinin, belediyelerin daha fazla işin içinde olması gerekiyor. Bize düşenler var ve uygulamayı kullanan kullanıcılara da çok büyük görev düşüyor. Mesela mover'lar bunu çok iyi yapıyorlar. Araçları sahipleniyorlar. Yani örneğin başka bir kullanıcı arabada sigara içiyorsa bizi arayıp o müşteriyle ilgili geri bildirimde bulunabiliyor. Kendi aracı gibi sahipleniyor aslında. Bu çok önemli bir değer bizim açımızdan. İşin bu noktaya gelmesinin de arkasındaki en büyük etkenlerden biri bu.
Teşekkürler. Dear Arun, final question, short question from audience. There are lots of scooter on the road, in Istanbul or anywhere. Are you a believer of the future of scooter as a sharing business?
Hello. I'm sorry. I may have missed that. My apologies.
Do you believe future of the scooter as a sharing economy startup?
I can see positives and negatives. I certainly see a lot of people who do not want to use public transportation and who are uncomfortable sitting in the car or cannot afford it. I have seen a lot of adoption of electric scooter, but the equipment is expensive. The charging requires labor, and the logistics are expensive. And so I think it is only in a few countries that we will be able to make the unit economics, where if you take the cost of the scooter, you take the cost of recharging, you take the cost of moving the scooter from the back to the original place, all of that put together, you need some creative way to make the business model work, so that it is priced at a level where enough people will use it for the business to work. And so I think as they say in America, the jury is still out, or it has got a great deal of potential from a sustainability and control point of view. But the economics of the business have to be solidified before I can predict that it will be a dominant way of transporting ourselves, because it is more expensive than bicycle. And so the price has to be higher. And the question is, can we make it work?
Thank you, Arun. It was my final question. If you have one final word, please share with us.
Absolutely. I mean, again, I'm delighted to be joining you. I wish it was in person. I have never been to Istanbul, and it is one of the cities in the world that I really want to visit. So perhaps at some point in the future. I think my message is, especially for younger people, is you have to think about your future as not being, I'm going to go work for someone and someone else is going to plan my career for me. You have to embrace the idea that you are much more in control and you are much more sort of in charge of determining, what your career trajectory and what your business future looks like. We used to have a division between I will go and work for a big company or I will create a startup. I think what you should be thinking about is, how do I create my business of one? How do I sort of think about working towards the next 20 years where I am a production system providing whatever legal services, consulting services, accounting services, running a small business. But the entrepreneurial mentality is not just for people who want to start big companies. It has to be for everybody. And so we are going to, again, be a world of entrepreneurs like we were 200 years ago. So whatever educational investments, whatever business planning, whatever other sort of investments that you might want to make for the future, think of it as I am an entrepreneur rather than I am an employee. And I think that will be a much better path to the future than if we think in the 20th century way.
Thank you. Emre Bey, senin ekleyeceğin var mı sevgili Emre?
Çok keyifli bir sohbetti, onu söyleyeyim. Hem diğer katılımcılar hem de Arun. Sizinle zaten her zaman sohbet etmek çok keyifli. Umarım tekrar bir araya geliriz. Tekrar konuşuruz gelişmeleri. Ben de teşekkür ediyorum herkese.
Teşekkürler. Arun, thank you very much. Hope see you in Istanbul soon, in healthy days after COVID. Thank you again. Bye bye. Sevgili izleyiciler, sevgili Arun'a ve Emre'ye çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Bu yayını MOVE'un katkılarıyla, işbirliğiyle gerçekleştirdik. Onlara ve katıldığınız için sizlere de çok teşekkür ediyorum. Hepinize tekrar teşekkürler. İyi bir akşam olsun.